Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to crochet these potholders in Tunisian crochet. For that, you need 3 different kinds of potholder yarn that match well. I'm using the potholder yarn Joker 8 from Polana. You can wash it at 60 degrees Celsius, which is quite important for potholder yarn. The length is 87 meters per 50 gram. Usually you crochet this yarn with a needle size 4 or 4.5, so UK 7 or 8 or a USG. Here I have a Tunisian crochet needle size 4 because I want to do the potholders here in Tunisian crochet. So you need a needle with a hook here and one that you can fit 17 stitches onto. We work this potholder in 4 steps and begin here. This is our cast on edge. We first crochet this square here. We finish the work here. Then we cast on stitches again here and crochet the next square in this direction. Again, we finish the work here, cast on a new here, and crochet in this direction. And then at the end we cast on stitches here and work in this direction. Alright, now we're going to start here with the white yarn. Wait, I better start with a color you can see better. It doesn't really matter where you start anyway. Okay, I'm gonna start with lilac so you can see the stitches better in the video. First, we build a loop to start with, like you're used to for crocheting. And then we chain 17 loose stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now we turn the chain forward just a bit. And then here out of the second stitch, the first stitch is the stitch here on our needle. Here on the back out of this transverse bit of the stitch, we pick up a stitch. We do that for every stitch. So coming from below, we insert and pull the yarn through. We crochet the potholders in a basic Tunisian crochet pattern. We first pick up the stitches for the right side row. And the last stitch. Now we have our 17 stitches on our needle. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17. Now back. First, I chain 1 for the first stitch. I just pull the yarn through the loop. Then, we again get the yarn and keep pulling it through 2 loops at a time. Always pull through 2 loops together. Okay, row number 1 is finished. Now row number 2. This time we pick up the stitches out of this vertical part of each stitch. The loop on the needle will again be my first stitch. So insert into the second and pull the yarn through. Insert, and from below we get the yarn and pull through. Last but not least, the border stitch. Here I insert into both parts of the stitch and pull the yarn through. And now back. For the border stitch I again just pull the yarn through this loop, and from then on through 2 at a time. For now, that's all you need to do for the basic pattern. There's nothing more you need to know. The third row is just the same. The first row was the one where we picked up the stitches. We just picked up stitches out of the cast-on chain. And in the second row, out of the vertical parts of the stitches. And the third row and all following rows, you just crochet exactly like the second one. Insert into both parts of the border stitch and pull the yarn through. And again, chain 1 and then cast off 2 at a time. And one last time before I'm going to show you how to change colors. For the whole potholder you crochet 4 rows per color. Back first through 1, then 2 together. Now I have 2 loops left on the needle. And these 2 loops I'm already going to cast off with the next color, which in this case is white. I crochet just as before, except that I already cast off with a new color. And then I pick up the stitches in white. I'm going to weave in the loose end right away by inserting underneath the yarn and above in turns. After about 6 or 7 stitches, the end should be securely woven in. Then we just continue with white just as before. There's no change in technique, just the color is different now. On the way back everything is as before. First chain 1 and then pull through 2 loops at a time. In the next row, we're going to directly weave in the white end. insert above the white yarn and underneath. If you remember that, you won't have to sew all the loose ends in at the end and save yourself a bit of work. Okay, so that's woven in. And now we just continue. We again crochet 4 rows in white. I have 2 already. That way you easily learn how to crochet Tunisian crochet. I created a group on Facebook named Veronika Hug, where you can find a lot more designs for Tunisian crochet, but also regular crochet and knitting. Have a look if you like, we are happy about every new member. Alright, so like this, you then work the next stripe in purple and another in lilac. And then I'm going to show you how to cast off the first square and start the next one. Alright, I finished my first square now, with 4 stripes with 4 rows each. And I'm now right here, where I usually would change to the next color. This time I just cast off the last 2 stitches as well, and then we're going to cast off the square with slip stitches. First chain 1, loose, and then again start with a second vertical loop of the stitch and crochet 1 slip stitch. So insert the needle, get the yarn and pull directly through both loops. That's how you cast off. For the border stitch, we again insert into both parts of the stitch, pull the yarn through, and pull it through again. Then we cut it off. That's our first square. The second I will attach here. The third here, and number 4 here. So here I'm now starting with purple. I insert my hook here into the first loop underneath the first border stitch and then pull the purple yarn through. Now I pick up 1 stitch out of every lilac stitch. Insert and pull the yarn through. Then insert into the next border stitch. Again, we weave in the loose end by inserting underneath the thread and above it in turns. After about 6 stitches it should be enough. And continue, just keep inserting into the border stitches. You can see them very good. Until you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 loops. Start your way back with first a chain stitch and then by casting off 2 stitches together. For the second row, I again pick up the stitches out of the vertical loop here. But you know that by now. It's the same as in the first square, we just use a different color this time. But we again have our 17 stitches and the border stitch. And the way back is casting off 1 stitch and then 2 at a time. Now you just continue crocheting. We are now here. After purple, we follow with lilac, just like we did here. Then again, white and purple. Then you cast off the square here. Cast on a new here, just like I showed you in lilac. And then continue with white, purple and lilac. Then cast off the stitches again. Don't mind the purple edge here, you cast off with lilac. We're gonna meet up again for square 4, because that's when we attach the 4th square to the 1st. I will then show you how to do that. First, crochet square 2 and square 3 as I showed you before. We now crochet square 4. We did the first here, the second and the third. Now we again insert into the border stitch and pull through our first stitch in white. Then I pick up 4 stitches out of the lilac stripe and 4 out of the white one. Then 4 out of the purple stripe and then 3 stitches out of lilac. Now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 stitches. And the 17th stitch I pick out of the edge of our first square here. Now I have 17 stitches that I then cast off pairwise. Then continue. I'm going to show you again how to attach the squares. I again have 16 stitches and the 17th I pick up out of the border stitch here. That's how you attach row after row. First 4 rows in white, then 4 in purple, 4 in lilac, and once more 4 rows in white. Then cast off all stitches and the fourth square too is finished. We then crochet around the whole potholder with single crochets. I start here with purple and chain 12 stitches. Then I continue here with single crochets. I crocheted 1 single stitch onto every stitch. Into the corners I crocheted 3 single stitches, so that we get a neatly shaped corner. When I'm here at the start again, I crochet around the 12 chain stitches with 20 single crochets. Or you do 1 single stitch into every chain stitch, whichever way you like. When I reach this point here, I crochet 1 slip stitch into the first single stitch. And then my potholder is finished. I hope you had fun with this tutorial. If so, you're welcome to subscribe to my channel. I frequently upload new ideas and designs. Hope to see you soon. Love, Veronika.